Quite a grim morning. Got 2 bullocks in the back. They're not quite as big as the previous one, despite being older. I've been keeping them back a bit. One is actually a twin, and I don't know why the other one's smaller, to be honest. But they're quite a good match. They were both were born on more or less consecutive days in May last year, so they're 18 months old. But now they're quite big, but they're not really very beefy sorts. So it's hard to say why. And I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's sleeting. I mean, earlier on it was quite a bit colder than it is now. It says it's 3 degrees. It's been here to 2. We're fresh up here. And I thought, I even considered going around the long way, but it's only been like 1 millimetre of, but it's coming on a bit heavier now. It's a fair bet it will be properly snowy when we get right to the top, and there might even be a slushy layer, but I don't think we need to worry about it. They did have quite a bit of snow further on the Pennines yesterday, but this isn't the same area, it's another. But we still haven't really had any snow yet. There's been a little bit of slushy layer up here. I think it was yesterday, the day before there was just a bit of out here, but I didn't see it. It's getting quite definite sleet now. It's like more flakes than rain. Or it's at least 50-50 anyway. As usual, loading big bullocks is well, it can go like clockwork, and it nearly did today. They separated out okay, they went in the loading pen okay, and they went in the trailer okay, and then they shot out again before I made it worse because I'd done the gates were just a bit inconvenient. How I hadn't got in the perfect spot, and I had to tie one back. By the time I pulled the boat to untie it, it was spun round and came out again. So we had to have another go. But they did go in more or less at second go, but then they were a bit sort of majorly agitated. They didn't like it one bit. They don't like it much anyway, but they were really storming to get out, but they couldn't, obviously. The crap's still there. Someone's been in and reorganised it. It looks like they set it up like a little room. Can I see a little bit of slush on the road there? Yes, there is, isn't there? You see wheel marks in it. Anyway, it's Malton again, and today it's one of the so-called special sales. It's not the biggest one. It's quite definitely getting a bit white here. Not the biggest one. I just like to open the windows a bit. That was the noise of the windows opening, by the way, because then you can partly hear things coming, because you just can't see a darn thing. You've really just got to take a chance not going too fast. Some of the cunts don't even have the lights on, as happened last time. I should think it will probably, ooh, it's a broken glass there, probably get more snowy as we go down here. But this is obviously nothing to worry about really, although it's a little bit concerning how bad it's going to get on the way home. I certainly won't be worried that I can't get home. I think it won't go far after Blakey and it'll start to thin out again. But you never know, it can be worse for you to go, you sort of going inland and it can get worse. Like, I think the worst thing that might happen is like have a bloody puncture this, up here in this weather. I'm paranoid about punctures. I have my kit in the back to change the wheels, but that's for the trailer. If we had to run a pickup, never done one ever on it. Winding the thing down at the back would be about impossible. I'm getting a little bit of rear end steering from these two spinning round. Presumably the lining is open again. It's certainly allowed to open. The lights are on, but they were the last time as well. In fact, last time I came past, it wasn't the last time I came with the bullocks. I saw there was quite a few cars there. I would assume it was mainly staff doing a bit of like deep cleaning and tidying and organising. Sort of see, it's very misty over there, but it's so much nicer when it's not, you know, it's like peering through fog or 2/3 of the way down. There's a third one, could have equally well gone in with these, but then there'd only have been one left. I couldn't get 4 in, so I guess there's another load of 2. I've actually put 3 more younger ones in. There's probably some more to weigh in quite soon, by January-ish anyway. But I've got a number of cows to go. This is the thing, they're all getting like 10 and 12 years old. We've been in sucklers for 10 years, and they were coming up to 2-year-old when they were first brought in. So a significant number to go one way or another. I mean, to be honest, this has been the case for 2 or 3 years. So I'm keeping more efforts back. I'm not going to say keep them all, but at the moment, I have got more or less all of them in there that are of the same age as these bullocks. Because there was rather less heifers than bullocks. So there's at least 6 coming on to be served. One's already been done. She's due in January, the first one. 2 more at least, maybe 3 are due to serve really when the next come bulling, more or less. Certainly about January time, so they're calving this autumn. And then so I've got like, I would say, half a dozen cows to go. Just. wait for the bin wagon. Oh God. This trailer is just as wide as that bin wagon, but they won't stop for it. You squeeze right against the curb and practically scrubbing the curb. It is just a little bit wider, this trailer, and sometimes it really has an impact. This is one place it does it, through bloody Pickering. It's a bit busy around here. A lot of the shops were open anyway. I don't know what Coopers were, but anywhere doing like hardware and DIY, they were allowed to open. Garden centres. There was an incident, I saw it, it might have been in the Express or something, but online version. They said bin worker had been, somehow he'd been caught up on the mechanism that tips the bins in, and he was thrown 20 feet in the air or something like that. I'm probably exaggerating, but it literally obviously threw him in the air to a height comparable to the height of the wagon. I'm not quite sure how that would happen. Then they go up quite slowly, don't they? But is it something to do with how it shakes it? Because I've seen them, they do a funny shaky motion once they're set in action, which another trailer just ahead of me. It's unusual to ever be near another one, or even see another one. Sometimes you see one coming the other way. The police station in Pickering, it's so 1960s, they ought to use it in heartbeat. Even the fonts they've used above the entrance, it's actually rather, it almost ought to be listed. I think he's got shape in that trail. Something sticking up white at the top and it's on the deck upstairs. You get into Malton and you start feeling you've got a flat tyre. This happens all the time. I think there's two reasons what happens. There's a lot more quite bizarre cambers to do with limited space or whatever. And there's a lot more funny rough road surfaces that make it feel like you're jiggling. This is one through here. And sometimes you just start, oh, that feels a bit like a flat tyre. And then you go a bit further and it feels like, oh, it's down on that side. And it's just the cambers. Although there is probably a higher chance of getting a puncture, like along here past the industrial estate and all, than there is on the main roads, because there's more traffic and it's going faster there, it tends to throw things off. I find you come here, you look watching the main road opposite, and people come flying out of the housing estate on the right. And okay, they've got right of way, but you know, they should be aware of it, because you're not particularly looking for things to come out there. You can't see them coming. You can see the well ahead on the main road. There's one waiting. I have seen him queuing right back to the corner on occasion. I could have gone in the other side. I'd rather not though. Don't like going in there. You can't see properly.